Hello students, welcome to Learn and Practice, and today we will complete the last part of the third chapter, that is the synthetic fibers and plastics. Okay, so last we have completed the synthetic fibers and its components and its classifications and how can we use the synthetic fibers and how to make the fabrics. Now today we will discuss only on the plastics, as I have already told on yesterday that we will discuss on plastic today. Okay, so let's go for the plastics. Why the plastic component is attached with the synthetic fibers in this chapter? At first, you have to understand this matter. Okay, if you observe the plastics and its components and its mechanism through science, so you will also observe that it is also a kind of the synthetic fibers, just as same as synthetic fibers. As you know, the synthetic fibers are man-made. In the same way, plastics are also man-made, and in plastics also it is not of the same kind. The plastics also are of the several kinds, and the several kinds of mechanisms are there, and there have the two type of, if we observe the class mechanism according to the science, according to the chemistry, so we will observe there are the two types of mechanism. Number one, that is the linear mechanism, and number two, there is the cross mechanism. In linear mechanism, we will observe that all kinds of units, or the monomer, okay, they are totally joined in one single chain. There it becomes a single kinds or a linear kinds of the mechanism, whereas if we observe the crossed linear mechanism, there all the units or all the monomers are joined from everywhere, and it makes a net like structure. So such type of complex structure of the plastics is called the crossed linear mechanisms. Okay, so in this way, two type of mechanisms of the plastics are held, and these are also used in different way. Later we will read it, and now we will have to understand that polythene also a part of or an example of the plastics. And polythene, if we observe it or if we divide it, so poly and ethene or ethane, two type of chemical components will come out. It means that the ethane, when it is used, the unit of the ethane or ethene, it is used not in a single way but also in multiple way. That time it makes the polyethylene or polythene. Okay, and this polythene are used normally as a plastic bags or the plastics carry bags. In this way we use it. Now we will go for its classification. If we go for its classification, there are mainly two type of plastics are there. Number one, that is the thermoplastics, and number two, that is the thermosetting plastics. Thermoplastics and thermosetting plastics. Now come to the definitions. Of course, so you have to understand through definition what is thermoplastics. You will observe that few type of plastics are there, those which melted easily and it burned easily with the help of the fire or heating. Okay, when any kinds of plastics come when any kinds of plastics come in touch of or in contact of the fire or heating, that time it melt itself or it burn itself. Those type of plastics are called as the thermoplastics. Okay, for example, you can say that polythene carry bags, the plastic carry bags, and the PVC, okay, polyvinyl chloride. So such type of plastics used to burn or change itself easily, so that's why these are known as the thermoplastics. While thermostatic plastics are the plastics those which can be molded means that can be reformed, means we can reform it in the different usable things. Okay, but it cannot be burnt easily. Those type of plastics are known as the thermosetting plastics. It means that the plastics in contact of heating or fire, it doesn't burn but it used to mold itself. Okay, and sometimes we also observe that few type of plastics like this cannot burn anyhow, or it cannot be molded also. For example, if we can say the melamine, we can say the bakelite. These are the examples. Okay, and bakelite, it is already said in your book that it's a poor conductor of heating or electricity, so that's why it is used on mainly in the electrical gadgets, just like the switch, just like the any kinds of electric components covering. So to make the inductors, okay, we mainly use the bakelite. Whereas the melamine also used in different way, as it is also helps to resist the heat or resist the fire. So that's why the fireman, when they used to go for extinguishing the fire from any large places. So that's why they also wear a coat, and that coat is called also covered from the outside by the layer of the melamine. Okay, as well as the tiles that we use in our houses, on the wall, that's also made by the melamine. So in this way, and different our kitchenwares like the plates, dishes, and the spoons are also made up of melamine. Nowadays it is used in the kitchen. So in this way, the thermoplastics and thermoplastics plastics are used in our life. Now, you know that plastics, not only the plastic carry bags, but also different things, the usable things, or the different components of the gadgets, whatever you say, or the toys, whatever you say. Nowadays, it is quite popular among us and in our society. So we can say that plastics are of our ultimate choice. So based on what thing we used to choose it first. Number one, we can say that plastics are non-reacted. No, it means that plastics doesn't react with any kinds of chemicals or any heat or burn, and it remains same. Got it? And if you also use the plastics dish or plate, and if you keep there the hot food, so by the heating or by the chemical that is used, or the spices that is used inside the hot food, it doesn't react with the plastics. It means the food remains same and food remains delicious on the plastic dish. So in this way we can use the plastic, and we can easily say that the plastics are non-reactive. Next, number two, we can say that plastics are light. Of course, plastics means plastic vessels, plastics kitchenware, plastics toys, those uh, what we use, these are very much light weighted and very strong and durable. Yes, plastics things or the vessels, it goes for a longer time. Okay, and it doesn't damaged easily. So that's why we can say that it is quite durable, strong, and very lightweighted, so people can carry it easily. So this is the topic, and the third topic is the plastics are poor conductors. Yes, we have already read the bakelite, the formation of the plastics, then the melamine, the formation of the another plastics. So these are the poor conductor, or it doesn't go through its conductivity through electricity or the fire. So that's why we can use it easily anywhere. So these are the quite popular things, and based on which we use it. Now if you go for the few another topics or another points based on it, that is the plastics. Nowadays it is used as a healthcare. In healthcare it is used in vast way. If you go for the syringe, if you go for the electric sorry, the plastic wares, the plastic rope that is used for stitching the wounds. Okay, and if you go for different type of plastics instruments, nowadays it is used in the hospitals and another healthcare center. Next, if you say for the Teflon, what is Teflon? Teflon is actually the outer coating, outer layer of the coating on few type of cookwares, so that the cookwares, when on it the food is cooking, that time the water or the oil cannot make a patchy substance on it, and it can remain free, the oil free and the water free, the cookware. So that's why nowadays a few thermo cookwares used to make a coat of a Teflon. So it is also made by the plastics. If you say few plastics cookware, and whenever it is giving the plastic cookware inside the oven, inside the micro oven, so that time you will also that the food is cooked properly, but nothing has happened, or nothing not a single activity has done with the plastic vessels. So that's why plastic can easily used in the microwave oven. So in this way we can easily say that the plastics are quite popular, and easily we can use it in our daily life. Now, the plastics and the environment. How do plastics create its role or play its role on the environment? We know that plastics means the pollution. The plastics, another name is pollution for our society. And our society most of the time are covering nowadays in this modern or advanced era by full, or we can say that most of the area is totally completed or covered by the plastics, because we every day use the plastics, and the food products that we are buying from the shops, either it is taking through the plastic carry bags, or the food products totally packed already by the organizations or their factories. So it means that plastics we are using, but whenever we are using it, that time also we have to be cautious on it, and we have to be alert about our environment, because we need the environment green. okay, not the full up of covering of the plastics. So that's why when we are just throwing the plastics, we must have to follow that where we are throwing and where we have to manage the plastics in a proper way. So based on this matter, you will observe that few of the materials are there which cannot be, which cannot be dissolved or which cannot be digested by nature itself, okay, and few of the materials are cannot be dissolved or digested by the nature itself, okay. So the materials that can digest in the nature are called the biodegradable, whereas the materials that cannot be dissolved by the nature are called the non-biodegradable. So of course we can say that the plastics and the plastics materials are the part or example of non-biodegradable particles, okay. So as plastics are non-biodegradable waste, so we must have to go for its recycle. As well, we have already read the 3 R's, and now we will read the 4 R's, that is the reduce, reuse, recycle and recover, okay. Reduce, reuse, recycle and recover. If we go through these 4 points or 4 R's, so easily we can manage our environment from the plastics. So this is all up to this throughout this topic. Hopefully you have understand everything, because it's a very simple topic, and next day we will start the next chapter. So go through it, and the question answers you must read and memorize, and wherever you will face problem, must ask me. That's all for today. Thank you so much.